Step into the rhythm, feel the cosmic flow. D's got the spark, and Nano's in tow. We're flipping the script where the uncommons go. A universe of truth, let the story show. Enter the verse where the mind takes flight. Dive in deep, we're igniting the night. D and Nano, bringing sights unseen. Real uncommon vibes in this podcast dream. Thoughts collide like stars in the void. We're breaking the mold, no filter deployed. From the mic to the cosmos, the tales unfold. Two hosts, one vibe, pure audio gold. Enter the verse where the mind takes flight. Dive in deep, we're igniting the night. D and Nano, bringing sights unseen. Real uncommon vibes in this podcast dream.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Uncommon Podcast. This is our 180th live stream, and welcome to our new show, guys. It's called Enter the Verse. Now, what is this show going to be about? It's very simple. It's going to be our journey in the VeVeVerse. VeVeVerse opens up to the entire community on Friday, the 28th. I am looking forward to that. So we decided to create this show. We're going to document our journey on the VeVeVerse. I've never been in there other than I've seen, the sneak peeks from the beta testers, as well as these live streams that's been going on. So we want to continue the conversation of the VeVeVerse and maybe metaverses alike on this show. What do you think about that, Dee?
I think it's excellent. Yeah, it's so corny. It's pretty cool to be able to get access on Friday and kind of put our toes in there in the door and trying to traverse and stuff. It's gonna be really exciting, and to be able to like build my own little space, my own little pocket in in the other rooms and stuff. So yeah, I've got ideas. Like for me, I have all these grand ideas in my head, but I am not a creative person, so it all just comes out like bleh. Like, yeah.
It's like barf.
I'm like, yeah, it's like just spewed out, and it's like, oh shoot, okay, gotta put it together to like create this. But I know how I want it envisioned in my head, but just to put it out there is, yeah. So hopefully this will be easy, and yeah, it can, for someone with my level of skill, which is 0, yeah, it'll be helpful to learn more stuff about the space. Anyway, that was a whole rant and stuff. But anyway, how are you, Hinano?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this. I'm a little bit tired, guys. I had to work early in the morning, so I'm a little bit dragging. So I've got some caffeine here. I'm ready to rock and roll. We have Josh in the studio right now, and then Fro is running a little bit late, but he will be here as well. We have 2 beta testers that are in the VeVeVerse right now. We're going to ask them some questions. We're going to talk about the future of VeVe, what this means for the platform, the community, and the future of digital collecting going forward. And we have some community supplied giveaways today as well, you guys. So we're going to be giving away 2 things today as well. If you guys want to win something, type in hashtag enter the verse. And I don't like the fact that our logo is disappearing, guys. The paint is still drying here, so I have to do a few fixing here.
It's a fresh show. So
it's a fresh show, but I think we should get Josh in here, and then let's get the conversation started, you guys. Yeah, hold on. Like I said, let's see, where's the button? There we go.
Josh.
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm muted again. I do that every time. Damn.
It's
You hang out
okay.
with D too much. That's the
I do.
problem.
Yeah. What's going on, guys?
Good,
Thanks for having
man.
me.
Thank you for coming on, man. Like right off the bat, man, how do you feel that the VeVeVerse is out now? I want to kind of rewind really quick before you answer that question. I know we have been waiting for a while, at least a year and somewhat odd months, I want to say. I remember the live streams, the X spaces we've had about speculation. I remember we used to beat up some of the beta testers, like, give us some alpha. But
Yeah.
you're in there now, man, and kind of give us your first thoughts about how it is.
Well, one, it's a weight off the shoulder. I'll say that. It's. I was saying to Hanano right before the show. It's refreshing to be able to make content around the verse finally, because yeah, it's been something that a lot of people have been waiting for. I mean, for many people ever since they got involved with the project. So, yeah, I mean that's awesome. I'm a builder, so yeah, just being able to get in there and just start building out my space, being creative has been loads of fun. Being able to see what all the collectibles look like under the lights, the different lights and environments and stuff, which is awesome. And then the other part has just kind of been like analytical for me, just kind of figuring out the rest of the puzzle pieces of like how I'm going to use the verse for the channel. I want to offer building services as well, so how I'm going to kind of do that. But yeah, I've just been trying to figure out how to put those, I guess, chess pieces on the board, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've been having lots of fun, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, for me, it kind of harkens back to the days of SimCity. For me, specifically, if you're talking about building, right? If you remember, was it like Windows 3.1? We had SimCity 2000. On the old Macintoshes, you had like the old SimCity, Sim Earth, Sim Ant. So this is what this reminds me of. It's like a world building thing, but like now pair this with like social media. Now I've been saying this for 4 years. I remember I was on Bob Sale's channel when I first said this. I view the VeVeVerse as like, say, a MySpace 1.0 for fandoms. Now, what that means is hopefully later on in the future, when our kids get a little bit older, because this is the product that they already understand. Kids, like my daughter's age, they get this stuff. You don't have to convince them what a digital product is or a digital realm. They're in Roblox, they're in Minecraft. They get this stuff. So and my daughter's excited, by the way. But for me now, for the older folks, I remember when MySpace came out and it was like a digital realm where we could socialize, but we never really had something like that for fandoms, Josh. And what I mean by that, when I was growing up in the 90s, you'd be teased in school for like comic books or having like action figures and stuff like that. So we couldn't really do any of our geeky stuff at school. We'd have to either do it at the park, or the one place, which is our sanctum, was the LCS, the comic shop. And so I constantly would stop there because it was on my way home and it was our video store. It was called Specialty Videos. It was in this old building, all rusted out, and videotapes and comic books. And that's where we used to hang out. We used to have Magic tournaments in there, Tetris tournaments from the old Game Boy games. So I really feel like the VeVeVerse can be that for fandoms, with probably a learning curve involved. But what do you think about that notion?
To be honest, I never really got involved with the Sims games, so I don't know those too well. But I definitely was like, if you know, like the roller coaster tycoon games and the zoo tycoons, those were mine back in the day. But the social aspect is awesome. The learning curve, though, is probably one of my favorite parts about the verse right now, because you have two different sides to it. So you have the side where somebody isn't too experienced with something like an Unreal Engine or a Blender. They haven't built maps in other games before. Maybe they have like minimal experience in the vault or like none at all. But someone like that can just go right into the verse and look at like the left-hand panel, the tools there. There's only like 6 or 7, and pretty much like, find their way around the verse with just those tools. But if you want to get more complex with it, you can click on an object or a collectible and go into the properties tab and then, mess around with a ton of different settings. And then there was actually just a group of settings that I just found out about like right before the show that I now need to go in and try and like figure out after this as well. And it's like all the pulse settings. So trying to like move a collectible from point A to B. And then there are some features that I just found out in that area that I haven't seen beta testers use yet. So I will say that. So I do want to try and like showcase how you use some of those things. The main setting that's been talked about is the pulse setting, which is just like getting a collectible to like spin or something like that, right? But there's like a handful of other ones. There's like a reference setting where you can have a collectible reference another collectible in the space. So like maybe a collectible is moving around, you can have that other piece just follow the piece that's already been scripted. So there's a bunch of little stuff that you can come across as well if you want to get in depth with it. So if you want to keep the learning curve simple, you can keep things simple. If you want to get complex, you can get complex, which is awesome.
Speaking of complex, it seems like you started making benches, and I was watching your instructional videos this morning. So you've been in the verse for how long? A week or two so far?
A couple weeks.
Couple weeks or so. So
Yeah.
like let's say 2 or 3 weeks versus some of these guys have been in there for an entire year. What's your initial thoughts getting in for the first time? I know you've been in Cavernous before, so you have an understanding of the platform. You knew how to work around, so it's not like it was like, oh, I'm scratching my head and wondering what the hell am I looking at. But initial thoughts right at the beginning, and give us your initial grading of the service from the time that you got in until right now.
Super easy for me to get used to. It's the exact same like features as inside the vault. So you have the arrows to move your pieces up, down, left, right. You can scale them, you can rotate them. And then you have some like extra stuff where you can like draw on simple shapes. You can add text, very basic stuff. But no, it's already an interface that I'm used to. Like Blender and Unreal Engine are like way more complicated than this type of stuff. So it was very easy for me to learn. But speaking of those other platforms, it's refreshing because it's an interface that I'm already kind of familiar with as well. So it feels almost kind of like I'm building in Blender. And I remember like I put those videos out of me building with just like a cube in Blender before the VeVeVerse dropped. And oh my God, man, the amount of comments I got under those posts being like, that's not how you build in the VeVeVerse. And like, oh, that looks like it takes way too much time. It is identical to a T, the exact same thing. Like the only difference is the cube is green instead of gray. That is it. So it was super easy to get started with. But overall rating, I'm going to be tough here because I'm an honest guy. It's a 6 or a 7 right now because of the bugs. They've kept things very simple in terms of what you're able to do with the platform. But the two biggest things for me right now is the space limitation. So as soon as you get past the 2 gig requirement in your space, things are going to dramatically slow down. And 2 gigs is not a lot, especially when you start factoring in the collectibles in your space. I mean, you can place collectibles down without putting any objects in your space, and you're going to hit that 2 gig like limit pretty fast. So that's one thing that I think they got to focus on. And I am saying that knowing that it's going to cost them more money to increase the space requirements, because that's what it is. It's like space is like it's storage rights. So costs money to store. But the other thing is there's just some there's some features that have yet been introduced that makes the building process a little tedious. So I know one topic that's talked about a lot right now is the building something and then being able to just like merge all the shapes together, so you can just copy and paste that element. So if, let's say you build like a bench like you see on screen, I can just copy and paste the entire bench instead of having to rebuild it over and over and over again, which they don't have that feature right now. So if they implement things like that, and then also implement hotkeys like copy and pasting with your keyboard, then dude, building is going to be completely different.
Fast tracked.
Oh yeah, like night and day. Like they fix those 2 things, and it's like my rating will probably go up to like an 8. So 8 or 9. Yeah.
Well, see, this kind of stuff right here that I'm looking at, I actually enjoy this. Building something from scratch, from the ground up, like understanding what the foundation is going to look like, whether it's a chair or a building, right? But like, give us an example on building, say, a chair. How long does it take in the duration, depending on you? Obviously, we're kind of similar, right? Like we probably want to do it like our way, and we want it to look a certain way. And if like I was just grumbling to you about my graphic, you know what I mean? So like, I can understand the craft.
You're a perfectionist.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
but how long does it take to build a bench? Just to kind of give the audience an idea of like if they wanted to start from scratch. My understanding, there's predefined figures, shapes, and probably furniture or whatever else in there. But like, if we want to start from scratch, how long does it take to build a bench, man?
2 minutes, 3 minutes. Like,
3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you only need to, you just put a cube down, reshape it, copy and paste it a few times, and then just like, line them up. It depends on how picky you are, I guess. But the video I put out where I designed, I think it was 8 different lights. I did that in like 15 or 20 minutes. All 8 designs. So.
But that's you though, right? Because I remember I was watching Evolve. Evolve was like, what should I make? And I told him I love lamp. So he made me a lamp. And so it took him like a good 5 minutes. But then I guess it goes back to like how you want it to look like. You got to look at your shapes and stuff like that though. But like just to kind of give the audience, if they ever decided to like start from a blank canvas, like how long does it normally take like a layman to do that? So assumingly me and you were creators, it'll take us 2 minutes, probably me 20 minutes. But essentially, once they get it down, they'll get it down. And you're saying that hotkeys and all this other stuff will kind of like help facilitate the creation process. But I just kind of wanted like a rundown of like if a layman came in and like, Josh, I want to make a bench. How long do you think it'll take me? So we'll probably double, triple the time, maybe 15 minutes.
Triple for me.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest. But to be honest, for somebody who is like so worried about the time aspect, I would just go right to the library and drag and drop the default models. You know what I mean? Like
there you go.
What you guys are seeing on screen now is meant for a certain type of person. Like not everybody is going to want to spend 15 minutes just to build a bench, right? But what is nice about the VeVeVerse is you have the option to do that. Because I think I said to Notorious earlier that if you provide a marketplace and people buy, accessories and furniture from that marketplace with whatever currency, that's awesome, right? But now picture that without the opportunity to build like what you're seeing on screen. You're going to walk into all the worlds and the exploration like process becomes repetitive because you just keep seeing the same things over and over and over and over again. So what you're seeing on screen is the best way right now, in my opinion, to differentiate, tongue twister, differentiate yourself.
Take a sip of that tea.
Yeah, in the VeVeVerse. I have terrible eating habits. When I start stuttering, it's because I haven't eaten enough,
Dino's.
Yeah.
Go eat something. Get a snack.
After this. But yeah, I mean, like having the opportunity to put the time in is there. If you don't want to put the time in, then just go to the library. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So I'll tell you what, really quick. There's a bunch of people asking questions. I'm going to get to you, chat, but I kind of want to get through these little talking points first. Also, we also have Fro coming as well. Where did I put my talking points? Okay, here we go.
I'm looking forward to catching up with Fro. It's been a little while.
He's been sick, so it's good to see him back in the limelight. Plus, finally we get to beat him up, even though you're in there already, right? But it'd be interesting to see what he's created. But D, I'm gonna let you kind of take over while I look at these talking points that you've written up here. Go for it. Ask Josh some questions.
Yeah. So first of all, congrats on getting in, before the rest of everybody does on Friday. Because dude, that's been like we've been talking about it for so long. Like, let the dude in, man. Like, he's got all these like. You've been already like creating and preparing for like so long for the day, and just like waking up to your email saying, hey, you have access starting today. Like that must have been like, frick yes, like finally.
But you know how it actually happened?
How?
Is, I hope I'm allowed to say this, is Corey got me in because
nice.
Yeah, well, so and like Corey, he went to the team and he asked if I can get an invite, and the team actually said no at first. So I got to give him credit for going back and trying a second time, because that's when he got me the invite. But he just sent me a link, and it ended up being like an older version of the beta actually. So it was missing a bunch of the features too. So I was actually in the beta with like version. It was like the third version of the beta from like way back when, and they're on like version like 19 or something like that now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I was on that for like a couple of days
That
before I
sucks.
updated it. But it was kind of funny though, because here I am saying, oh, I don't have access to the beta. I was thinking I was never going to have access to the beta. I was going to be in there on Friday. And then now I have the first live stream in the VeVeVerse, which is kind of like a full circle moment. So that all that is because of Corey. So I gotta thank him for that.
Shout out to Corey. Yeah, I know they so go ahead.
No. I was going to say, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs outside of the gates with picket fences with a big sign that says, "Let Josh in." And so I'm happy they let you in, man. Go ahead, Dee.
Yeah, I mean, just that's kind of like what I was trying to get out of him, was like, how did that come to be? Because, they had let other people in like a year ago, and then they said they were going to have emails sent out for the next batch going through. And, they were kind of quiet after that. So I'm really happy for you that you were able to do that, because, dude, I love your videos. And I hope everyone gets a chance to go back to all your videos from previous on how to do certain things, or what you could possibly imagine, and giving people ideas on how to create or what they could start off with. So I am super happy for you. And I haven't had the chance to like look at all your videos yet, but I know that they're like top notch. So I'll have to like refer back to that to get just to kind of help me when I get in there, whenever the time allows for me to get in there, because I know Hinano's probably gonna go and have his shot first, which I am fine with, because he is the creative guy in the household.
Yeah, you're gonna be glued to that the first couple days. I can.
I won't see him for a while.
Well, I told her Friday night after the live stream. That's it. Unless the baby needs some tending to. I'll be here. I'll be sitting right here.
Friday's the perfect day for it, though. So.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing, right? Because I've been in tech for 2 decades. I'm in communication, guys. I already know what happens on a launch day for any product. I've done work for Salesforce. I've done some work for Microsoft. They've had some botched up launches. I'm not saying that's going to happen for VeVe, but I've always been saying this. We've said it on on the X Space on Sunday. Temper your expectations, because as soon as they open the door, the first thing that's going to hit the VeVeVerse is load. Everyone's going to be in there beating up the bandwidth, beating up those servers. And what do you think, Josh? Do you think it's going to hold up? Is it holding up now for you folks that are just in there? That's the handful of you guys in there right now.
You're talking like just people like staying in there?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about basically the experience right now. I'm assuming it's smooth, it's not janky, but can you imagine more people going in there and utilizing that service? Do you think it will slow it down?
That's hard to say, because I think right now there's 150 people out of the majority of the community. But I think right now, like the main thing that's offered inside the VeVeVerse is the building aspect. The second main thing is going to be the social aspect. So I think it's just, and I said this on the show, right? Emoji show in Amelia's space right before this. I think the success of the VeVeVerse is fully dependent on us. Like the number one thing is the product, of course, and they got to fix some bugs. They have the IP, which is just going to naturally attract some people when they hear that. But when you go in there, if you're not really interested in building, you're probably not going to stick around for too long after you've explored some worlds, right? Yeah. So the next step after that is making sure that there's things happening inside those worlds. And then that comes down to the community and the team, and like how strong the community is and how many spaces from X have transitioned over and stuff like that. So, and then the rest is up to Cavernous and just bringing in those features that we need, because I think being brutally honest, I think Cavernous is a little bit behind in terms of, what like some features being just industry standard, and they're not in there right now. Like even the gravity with your avatar. Yeah. I can go into Fortnite, right? Build a map. I can fly around in the camera to build the map. There's no gravity or anything there. I'm floating, right? But if I go over to my avatar to walk around that world, my avatar drops. And if I click spacebar, I can jump and everything like that. None of that's in the VeVeVerse, right? And that's all like industry standard stuff. So Cavernous needs to catch up there too.
So having said all that, we already know that we know the product, it's been marketed to us for like quite some time now. And some of us either have been beta testers, or at DCon 2022, we got to see a sneak peek of it. which is probably in its rawest form right here. But who is this product really for then from the outside world? Now, going from the outside world now, right? They're trying to market this product out. They don't need to do it for us already, but who is this product really for outside of our bubble? Who do you think?
Well, it's VeVe's market, it's collectors, but it's like now they're kind of like they're getting into the gaming world because like it's like you're putting those collectibles into a virtual space, you're controlling a virtual avatar. It's like, when do you not call that gaming, right? You just not call it gaming because you're not holding a gun and shooting people. It's like, no, it's gaming.
Yeah.
So
it's a form of Minecraft. You're building stuff, right?
That's exactly. So I will say the space that they're in now, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like constant updates. If they're not doing constant updates, it's hard to keep people around. So the main audience is going to be collectors, and then collectors who enjoy gaming. That would be my guess, but I also don't have the rest of the data in front of me. I know that they've been pulling all that stuff from like pads and stuff. So.
And that's okay. Like, and we're not trying to FUD, guys. We're really just trying to have a genuine conversation about the product. I'm a big believer in this. This is why we wanted to create a show around it. But I want to have the conversation about these questions. And maybe if you guys have any other questions as well that you want asked, please head in the comments down below. I know we have some questions. I've seen you, Anon. You've been asking questions as well as Digital. Was it Digital Tommy? I think that's Notorious. I see
that's
you as
Notorious.
well.
That's
Notorious.
Yeah.
We will get to your guys' questions, and also I think Josh is going to show us some preview videos as well. But I'm going to throw the baton to D. We're going to get through some talking points first, you guys. Then we'll show maybe some visuals that Josh wants to share, as well as some questions from the chat. And also, Frobro will be showing up. He is driving home right now, so kick back, guys. But D, any other things that you want to ask Josh?
Yeah. So I know you have this ever like working mind, always just running with ideas. So did you already have like a plan of what you wanted to do as soon as you were able to get access? And like, how many times did you have to do, like, what was your first collectible that you put into the space and started working around?
Part of statue.
Okay.
Part of statue. I just bought that a couple weeks ago, so I had to see what that looked like.
Congrats.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the beginning part of your question?
So it was, like, how long did it take you? Like, what was your experience when you first like put in your first collectible and started building around it?
And the plan, I had a plan of what I was going to do when I got in there. Unfortunately, though, the feature that I was going to use for most of that just got taken away. So, so in the beta testers had the option of uploading files like GIFs, videos. You can apply them, like put them on a wall. That's why you saw like the moving videos, like VeVe Vault Masters comics were changing. You saw somebody posted like a Matrix style world. Forgive me, can't remember who that was. All of that is utilizing like the file upload button. And as of the 28th, we're not allowed to do that. So anything that we don't own on VeVe, we can't have in the worlds via that function. So all my like branding, me creating a world with my VeVe artwork, me creating a world for, like the building services, I was going to have like a full pitch space where, me and my potential clients spawn in. I got all the textures on the walls. I got like PNG photos of previous spaces.
It's like your gallery.
Out. Exactly. I can't do that now because of that one feature being taken away. So,
Shucks, man.
I'm hoping they reintroduce that, but I was able to at least do the rest of the stuff that I had planned, which was, just like laying out everything, seeing it from a bird's eye view, visiting some spaces, and
Yeah, I'm going to show you my napkin design that I created. But before we do that, we have someone in the studio. We'll be right back, everybody.
Let's go.
Stand by. What is up, Frobro?
Let's go. What up?
How's everybody doing?
Good, brother.
Good,
How are
brother.
you,
How are
man?
you?
Good to see you back in action.
Yeah, trying to. I apologize for being late. Just ran into a bunch of traffic and I try to get here as safely as possible, D.
Yes, that's the main thing. As safely as possible. That's
She
however
gave you
long
scoldings.
it
Yeah, I didn't want lickings.
took.
Oh,
No,
well,
you're all
brother,
good.
good to see you, man.
What's going on, man? It's good to see you.
Yeah, you as well. I hear you're feeling better, doing better. Good. Yeah.
I'm wondering if you and I got the same thing, because it wasn't like the normal flu, but it hit me out. It hit me like a train, dude. But what you were saying sounded similar, so I hope you're doing better though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whenever non gets involved, that's when you know it's serious. So, yeah.
Yeah.
He's texting me, get your butt to the doctor and get checked out. And I hate doctors, but
Me
like
too.
Same.
What do they know, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah. You only have a PhD.
yeah, they're paid way more than me. But speaking of your brother, he's been asking a lot of questions in that chat. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But Fro, we've been discussing mainly, the excitement that the VeVeVerse is launching on the 28th. Josh's first initial impression. So I actually want to show you something, Fro, bro. I don't know if you remember this, but I took a snapshot. Where is it? Where did I put it? I took a picture of something from back in the day. I gotta pull it back up, but there was a there was a live stream we did a year ago. And I don't know if you remember this, Fro, bro, but it was myself, you, My Collectibles, before he became the community manager now. Superstar Money. Here, I'm going to get that just a bit.
Bones? Was Bones there too?
And I think it was Bones. And you made us FOMO to buy some Avengers Towers, man. And so it was this live stream right here. It was our 8th live stream. This was supposed to be a live stream where we were supposed to be really short because I had friends visiting. And everyone decided to come on the live stream that day because we were talking about VeVeVerse. And Fro came on and he literally started saying, man, the Avengers Tower looks so good in the VeVeVerse, but I can't tell you guys, I'm under NDA. I'm like, gee, thanks. And it was shiny. You guys got to get it. And like, I remember Joe was looking at the floor price. We all FOMO'd and got that silly tower because of Fro right there. And it was this episode. You guys want to see it? It's there, by the way. I'm pulling this up because I remember this conversation. Now let's fast forward to now. It's like a year and somewhat odd months later. And I kind of want to get your opinion on, being in the VeVeVerse after, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but just basically us beating you up in Twitter Spaces and live streams. What is your perspective now that you have been in the VeVeVerse for an entire year and you can talk?
Yes, you're free.
Free. Gosh, it's pretty much, I've seen all the spaces that everyone's put out, and their short videos is a lot better than mine. And all I can say is they pretty much hit all the nails on the head. And that's just some of the things you can do. I don't know if you've seen Pudding Cheeks video where he actually made the Ecto 1 do this. It did like the little bump, and it was moving all the way down. And at the very end was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and he was kind of walking. So it was pretty cool animation. And doors can open, slides, elevators, platforms. So I think there's a lot still to be done. It's not complete. It's always a work in progress. There's a few things I would love to see done, but it's going to take time. Beta testers, we were told to go in and do as much as we can to try to break it and report back with things that aren't working so they can fix it. And it was just nonstop, constant, doing that. So now it's finally coming to fruition where everyone's going to be able to get access. And I think it's been a long time coming. Like I want everyone to experience what we've experienced, and just know that we got this far only because of beta testers that spent countless hours, like Masteroni, VeVe Vault Master Creator, guys that Cam have, even Tails and Falcon. They just kind of went in and just pushed it to the limits, you know, to the point where it would freeze, crash, you'd jump back in for a couple seconds, freeze and crash again. So I mean, guys like that, they just went in and just, you know, did a phenomenal job. And that kind of led us to where we're at now. So everyone that's going in, thank the beta testers, thank those guys, you know, like guys like them, and that we were able to have what we have now, you know, with VeVeVerse. So yeah, I probably left a lot of people out, but I mean, everyone deserves credit. And Captain Era, this guy went in. He's a huge Ghostbusters fan, and he literally built the whole like scene from scratch. That guy, if you have not seen Captain Era's work and his whole Ghostbuster station, I mean, you gotta go see it.
I was gonna say, can you pop that up, Hanano? I haven't seen that.
I'm pulling it up right now, my man.
I think
I'm
he's
pulling
looking
up
for it right now.
I try to move as fast as I can, but keep talking, keep talking. I'll get it.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a long time coming. So look at that! Holy smokes! Come on.
Okay, okay, hang on a sec. Go back to the beginning of that vid for a sec.
Got you, right here.
That flag.
Oh, hold on. Turn that off. Yeah, this flag.
That flag alone is like 50 pieces.
Easy,
right? Like
easy.
Not actually 50, but you guys know what I mean. Like there's a lot, right? So going back to that 2 gigabyte thing that I was talking about, right? Like,
yeah.
So it adds up very fast. So, I mean, yeah, that's really well done though.
No, it is. And like, I'm a big Ghostbuster fan, but he just didn't do this. It's my understanding. He also did Marty's house too, right? From Back to the Future. Didn't he do that as well?
He did.
And then also Simpsons.
He did this. The Simpson house is mind blowing. But come on, look at this, man. And
I know.
And you guys wonder why we were so tight-lipped, and we were just, you know, we couldn't say anything, and we're excited on the inside and wanting to just explode when you see stuff like this, right? Yeah, so I mean, it's insane. Like the guys out there building stuff. Mouth. Right in the mouth. Yeah, look at that. It's
pause.
Come on. Look at that.
Now, you said the flag is 50 pieces. You know, that's on top of the rest of the pieces in here. From your guys' perspective, as well as your own expertise, how long did it take him to make this?
That would have been weeks.
Yeah.
Easy, if not over a month. We all have different time zones and our, you know, spare time that you can take off to create and do stuff like this. For me, it probably took, I should be working on it right now with my schedule.
So then that brings up a good question to like the layman, and we were kind of talking with Josh earlier about like the everyday users, the easy button people, right? They're not going to be building this right away, and so they're going to probably have to do the pre-configured stuff, or maybe map things out on like a napkin or something, right? So here's my example right here. If I can find where I put the thing, I actually mapped out what I'm planning on doing. So everyone's been asking what I want to do, like what I want to create. I don't want to give away what I want to create as in from scratch, because I've got a bunch of ideas in my head that I haven't seen anyone implement yet. So I'm going to keep it to myself. But when it comes to actually making something for the first time in the verse, I really was telling Dee I should really start small and work my way out, like really just build a home base, a studio, because at the end of the day, I really just want to have a place to hang out with you guys. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't need a big, massive world where I'm going to go way over 2 gigs, in my opinion. I just need something to start off with, just a little home base, and then I work my way out of there, because I want to start doing stuff like this in the VeVeVerse. Dee, I hear the cops are coming for you. But that's a joke and a story for another day, guys. Maybe on Aloha Friday stream. But
you know what I was watching today? You know what I was watching today? One of my favorite shows growing up, so much I even met him in real life, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yes.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Love that show growing up.
Dude, so their bail bonds office was right down the street from my grandma's house. It was right next to the video store. So we used to go and so I knew where he was. His son Leland, I would always see at the store. Interesting family, to say the least.
Yeah, interesting family.
But yeah, guys. So basically, here is my napkin version of what I'm trying to explain here. I kind of mapped out what I kind of want to do. So essentially, I want to build out a studio first.
Nice. Look at the
And then,
architecture work.
you know, I want to have a separate building for my cars because I do have cars. And then this is just a general outline. I want to have a living room area where we can just kind of like hang out. I want to have a comic book gallery and I want to have a collectibles gallery. And then we'll start from there. But this is kind of like my rough draft napkin type of design for myself here. So
That's good, man. I like that the planning and stuff. What's the top right? What is that? Is that the garage?
It's more of a building, you know, just because like whenever I do a graphic, I want to make sure I have something like pretty to like go after. Like essentially, this is like the building, right? So yeah, it's really nothing. It's really just to take up a space. So, but essentially, this is my plan, guys. I want to do a home base. I'm going to start from there and then work my way out. I did buy some dioramas because I want to cheat a little bit. Like a good example is what is that? King Triton's diorama. I mean, that's an island. If you really look at it, right? You just plop it down and there you go. You have an island. So I have an island right there. But this is essentially my floor plan of what I'm going to start doing. And I'm going to start doing this on Friday, guys. Hopefully next week I can show my progression. That's what this whole channel is about. I might even go late. I might even do some late night live streams. Like maybe when the baby and Dee are sleeping, I'll go live and I'll just start creating on this channel.
Says the guy who's like, I
putting the cart before the
didn't
horse.
Well, you know what's fun too is there's going to be a lot of, even if it's not like on stream, there's going to be a lot of behind the scenes prep with content creators too. And before I hopped in the space with O'Milly, I was building a stage for content creators. So when I'm done, anybody who wants access to the space can go there and just use the stage to create content. But then like that's one example. Then like shooting thumbnails. I sent Rob a message earlier this morning saying, hey, when you get access on Friday, would you be willing to hop into a space with me for like an hour or two and just like help me record me building? So like he records me from a third person perspective, and then I can use his footage for part of the time lapse, right? So it's going to be like collaborative stuff like that too. It's not just like community events, like you know, getting together behind the scenes too, which is awesome.
And that's so cool too. You're right. Like screen recording stuff like this, definitely going to be doing that type of content as well. But we're streamers. We like to come out here and talk story with you guys, and I'm sure somebody is up at like 3 a.m. So, yeah, I totally get what you're saying there. Dee, anything you want to add to this?
Like I have an idea. Like I said, ideas in my head just come out as like, bleh, when it's time to like make it on the computer. But I kind of want to do like a space where it's like kind of like a cafe, like a open air cafe.
Food and
for people to for people to like come to and you know, just hang out and then
food ASMR.
Yeah,
well, I was telling Dee she could do a cooking show in the verse, right?
Yeah,
because she could show all what she's, you know, cooking, right? Essentially with a separate camera. Couldn't we do like another camera where it's looking at what she's making?
You could set up your OBS so that you like
you
stream your OBS right to the screen, and then your OBS is just set up so you're recording your cooking.
It's all possible, Dee. Dee Eats is moving to the VeVeVerse.
I'm gonna be hitting up people like you, Josh and Fro, for like help me. Please refer to episode something on Josh's channel. But yeah, so that's my idea, and then I also kind of want to do like a beachy theme, just so like I can not exactly duplicate an area here in Hawaii, but just to have something similar for people to come there and they'll be like here with me in Hawaii. So I gotta come up with some kind of plan or outline to kind of get my idea going. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping to create, which is probably going to take me months to do. But that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and she has the ability. So the laptop that she uses, I've recently upgraded the RAM. It was only at like 16 gigs, so she's got 32. I'm running 32 as well. I've got a high power graphics card here, so she can probably do like the light lifting versus me. I'll be doing like the creation building, and you bet your butt I am going to be making places here in Hawaii in the verse. You know what I mean? I already have an idea of what I want to do. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But guys, we have some questions in the chats. I'm looking at it. We're almost at an hour. I really appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate the people for watching right now. If you guys want to win something from 2 community members that have donated a community giveaway, enter in the chat right now. Hashtag enter the verse for a chance to win something in chat, and give a big thanks to The Biggest Bro and Notorious for providing today's giveaways, and we really appreciate you guys for doing that, guys. So give them their flowers in the chats. D, what did you want to say?
So I am hoping, because I'm not sure if it's possible yet, to bring outside artwork. It's probably not possible yet, but in the future, I'm sure they will probably work on something. But I am looking forward to having this whole space of just velvet neon pieces.
Well, okay, you know what's interesting about that? And I want to say this because I want to preempt it in case somebody on the team says it. Because I know like they've already talked about like, oh, IP doesn't want to mix, and then you can go over to Fortnite and mix IP, right? Like if I use Fortnite as an example, I can go into Unreal Engine, I can build a map, I can add a file, and that file can be an image from Google, right? It could be any image. Fortnite has a system set up where it's like it uses AI to approve the map and stuff like that. That's the only reason I think I'm allowed to upload files into the map and then publish the map. But the reason why VeVe isn't letting us do that right now is because I don't think they have an approval system in place, which of course resources would go to. So they need to set that up properly before they enable that feature, because I do think they are going to enable that in the future. They would be like, it would be a very dumb move for them not to, because like I said, it takes away all that other stuff. Like even the floor plan you were just showing, that was a plan that I had for the first space that I built out. When you exit the elevator, you were supposed to, on the wall right where I had the comics, it was supposed to be a floor plan that I actually made in Canva of the map. So when you walked out, you saw that, okay, when you go around the corner, you can go left to this room, you can go, you know, down the hall to the living room. You already see the full map right in front of you when you spawn. But again, I can't do that because of the file feature. Yeah. So they had it in the beta, and now they took it away. So they obviously, the feature is there. It's just before somebody on the team says, oh yeah, we got to get approval from all these licensors. It's like, you know, I can do the same thing on Fortnite, and Fortnite has all of the IP on the planet, right?
Maybe it's going to be on the paid version, right? I mean, there are going to be 2 versions. There's a premium version, and you know, you got to pay to play, and they got to keep the lights on. So I'm okay with paying as long as we do have a seamless service, right? So, but now that we're talking about like floor plans and pre-configured rooms, what do you advise people to do initially before the 28th? Should they start planning? Should they do a napkin design that I have? What's your guys' thoughts on that? Fro, we'll go with you first.
Absolutely. Always plan ahead. Draw your plans out. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes it won't, because I've built so many spaces where I just halfway through, you know, a week and a half later, I'm like, what am I even doing? This is garbage. Like, no one's going to come and hang out here. So I go in, I just start dismantling everything and taking it down and just, you know, just regroup. And that's because I didn't do what you do. I didn't do what you did. I didn't plan. I didn't have any type of system put in place of, you know, what people are where they're gonna start out, where they're gonna, you know, end up. Is there a path for them to follow? I just kind of started just building, and I'm, you know, weeks later, I messed around and I found out. So like, I just, totally plan out what you want to build. Pudding Cheeks, this dude built a football stadium. When I say football, I meant soccer. He built this huge stadium, and I'm just kind of like, holy smokes. I mean, that took time and effort, and Pudding Cheeks was like it literally is like if he filled that up with people, it would just be probably mind blowing. Like anybody coming into the VeVeVerse and they see that first time experience, they just be like, you know, just boom. like, this is it? Like, holy smokes, and this is what I can build? And there's other builders in there that I've seen that they kind of gave me like an invite to go check out their spaces and, you know, give my 2 cents. And this is, you know, months ago, almost a year ago, when people were heavily just doing the beta testing. And some of the heavy hitters have not shown what they've built yet. Wait until you guys see the heavy hitters. And
Really?
I'm not going to spoil it for you guys.
Josh is on the panel, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I seen Josh's stuff. The dude's already. I couldn't come out and say it, Josh, but you were hitting the nail on the head every single time you're putting out VeVeVerse, like, kind of suggestions of what you could and could not do. I wanted to tell you, dude, you're right there. It's nail on the head. You're it. Like, whatever you put out, that's the VeVeVerse. You know, I couldn't come out and say that. All I had to do was like. And he puts out like. That's all I could do. And I'm like,
buy the shiny tower.
I want to tell him so much, right? But yeah, now he's surpassed so many of the guys that had access and just didn't utilize or took advantage of the beta testing pass, right? There were guys who had the beta testing pass and they just kind of like, I'll jump in and move around a few collectibles and call it a day. It's not their thing. I totally get it. You know, not everyone's a builder like Josh. Not everyone's a tinker. You know, not everyone can go in and just, you know, do all that. So, and, you know, there are guys like Josh that would probably make a boatload of money if he just kind of like, hey, what do you want me to build for you? That's going to cost X amount of gems or dollars, and boom, done. So I could see Josh being one of those guys. It'll be like a kind of like a pay to build type thing, right?
Bro, do you remember the second episode of coming on this podcast? We literally talked about what you're explaining. Remember, we were talking about building in the VeVeVerse, having a job, being a creator, being an architect. That was the name of the episode. And you were that person. I was dubbing Fro as a person that could probably be an architect and build. And lo and behold, he's been in the VeVeVerse for an entire year. So
I could totally do it. I could totally do it. But
before the episode, I mean, after the episode, right? So,
yeah, like it's full circle on that one, dude. Like, I swear, like, it was. There's so many things that just happened in that episode. I just kind of look back, and you know, like, funny thing is, I go back and I watch the video again, and I'm like,
it's a horrible video, by the way.
Like, it's like, what was I even like? What was I saying? But yeah,
we were totally, all talking out of our butt, I think. But you know, some of it was true.
That was our first introduction to one another, and we kind of just fanboyed over the Godzilla thing. And I think it just grew from there, right? Look at it now.
But I mean, I remember we were having those VeVeVerse talks, and since, you know, we got these beta testers here. Do you guys mind showing some of your work on screen? Could we like screen share something on the verse?
Ooh, Josh got me beat. Josh got me beat. Josh,
do you want to do this? I can put so I can just switch my camera over to my screen. I can put a little time lapse up here while we're talking.
Yeah, let's do that then. That'd be great.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then kind of give the audience a visual of what you're building. And then let's go through these questions. And guys, if you have any questions for these guys, because I've seen you've been putting them in the chat, go ahead. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I said a lot of good questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, guys, I'm going to get your questions. Anon, I seen yours first. I have it highlighted. It's probably for you, Fro. So I'm going to bring this up while Josh is getting his video ready for us, and let me know if you need me to screen share anything for you, Josh.
Sweet. Can't wait.
But Anon says, question, how do we see the user landscape as it relates to AR, VR, and Vault usage creation? Fro.
So let me just say this. Anon's my brother. Even the dude has not seen me in the VeVeVerse. This NDA is real life. Like, it literally was like,
come on, bro.
You know, Anon's like, come on, bro. Like, no, dude. Like,
the whiskey could not penetrate that NDA, huh?
Not enough whiskey, that's for sure.
He has never seen me sit in front of the screen creating in the VeVeVerse. And the dude's my brother. He could be coming over just randomly, right? He lives right down the street. He could come over and just pop in, and I'm creating. No, it's never happened. Like doorbell ring. Who is it? And you look on the cam. It's Anon. Shut down. Done. What's up, bro? Come on in.
So is Anon going to show up today?
Funny thing about Anon is the dude is very he knows how to build. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to 3D maps and all that. So he's gonna be, the moment he gets in, I could see him building insane like spaces. And that's just not, I'm not saying that because he's my brother. I'm just saying that because the dude's got mad skills.
Yeah.
And yeah, but he's never seen me in the VeVeVerse. Like, it's one of the things we never I didn't take the NDA lightly. I mean, I stuck by it. So I talked about it with him, but he knows we don't. It'll come when it comes. So he's been patient. So Anon is here, brother. You can actually download it later this Friday and create your own space and not try to get me drunk to spill the beans. I'll tell mom.
I'm telling on you. Oh, he's laughing. He's laughing in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got another question from your brother. Are the tools similar to other CAD design softwares like SketchUp?
Oh my God. And Anon would ask those questions because that's what he's familiarized with. Dude is like well versed with CAD and that because he's, I don't want to give away what he does for a living, but I mean, those projects cost upwards of 10, 20, $40 million.
Wow.
And Anon is not, shy about that. Dude's a genius when it comes to stuff like that. He's the actual older brother who builds. I'm the younger brother who kind of followed in his footsteps, and I started building in VeVe, the VeVeVerse. So I'm doing what he's doing, but on a smaller scale. Yes, it is Anon. Like, once you get in, brother, you will just tear holes in the walls, and I expect a New York City from you pretty soon, like in a short amount of time. So, and like everything that we're seeing now, sped up. Yeah, that's it. A lot of love and passion goes into this, and those beta testers, all of the beta testers that have been doing this. I mean, the VeVe fam really, I mean, they're unsung heroes because of this. We wouldn't be where we're at without those guys. I mean, not just me, but I'm talking everybody, like more them than me. Those guys put in time, effort, hours that they'll never get back, right? So
yeah,
and they're doing all this, out of the goodness of their heart because they know the fam is coming. And when we want the fam, what we want the fam to see is something that's almost near complete. We want the experience in the VeVeVerse to be unlike ours, where we found a bunch of glitches here and there, errors that would just, like, collectibles that wouldn't load right, collectibles that had holes in them, where just things just wasn't perfect. So their gift, the beta testers' gift to the VeVe fam would be what they're getting on Friday, because heart, soul, time, and effort went into getting this ready for everyone. So thank your beta testers, man. Those guys, they put a lot into this. So even I thank them all the time because they showed me how to do stuff that I couldn't figure out on my own. And guys like Pudding Cheeks would put out, tutorials, or, respond back on how to move stuff and how to make doors slide, how to, make platforms move, and everything that you thought that wasn't able to be accomplished in the VeVeVerse, they were doing it, and they were doing it well, exceptionally well. So not one guy it's just not one person that could really do all this. It took a group effort, and all the beta testers all together really worked hard to get this to where it is now. So in all the tutorials you see, I mean, it takes time and effort for them to put those together for the VeVe fam. And yeah, thank those guys, because it's going to make your life a whole lot easier when you're trying to build. You go back, you pull up someone's video, you watch it, and you're like, oh, that's how you do it. I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, that's how he did it. Let me try it as well. So we all learn from each other. It's all, you know, kind of, everyone's putting out great vibes. If you have any questions, you can reach out to someone and they'll show you. They do a quick walkthrough. But this is what we've been holding back from everyone. And this is what I wanted to shout out at the top of the mountain. It's coming. It's Friday. So thank you, VeVe, for allowing us to finally all get, you know, access to the VeVeVerse.
2 days.
Yeah.
Josh, anything you want to add to that? And I'm trying to like actually make sure I can blow up Josh right now since he's actually sharing himself. So give me a minute, but anything you want to add to this, Josh?
I mean, I think Fro said it really well there. I've been a little distracted with this time lapse as well because I changed so much of this stuff afterwards. But no, no, nothing to add right now. No, I'm good.
There we go.
I think it's really cool. It's really cool that I've been seeing and hearing a lot more of the beta testers come out once their NDA was lifted, and you can hear just how like excited and relieved they are to like finally like talk about it. I mean, I'm sure you guys all talk about it, but it's just to yourselves and the people in there, and just to have like the ability to go out and assure people, you know, this is really what you can do. And I think it's such a great feeling for them to just be like relieved of that, you know, just holding back.
You should have seen the VeVeVerse chat on the what was it, the 24th or 25th? Dude, people were like, wait, our NDA's up? Can we share stuff or can we not? There's people in Australia that are sharing stuff, but we're not allowed to. It's not the 25th yet. I'm like people were like freaking out.
Well,
like,
yeah, because it's
Prophet, you're hours
future.
Early. It's like, no, I'm in New Zealand. It's the 26th.
Right.
Time zones.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think it's so cool to see that, and have people go on live streams and spaces just to share what they've been building. And I think now that we see like the people who are like, there's some people that are beta testers I didn't even know until they were able to talk about it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
All this time, you
Yeah.
sneaky person.
Yeah.
So they've just been building. So I think it's also like great for us, like normal people, to have that we can't that we like know, at least for myself, that know some of the beta testers that I can go to and, you know, just ask for help. And because they've been in there for so long, well, depending on when they got in, you know, they can give me feedback and help me along the way to like just kind of maybe point me in the right direction or give me like tips and tricks kind of thing. Yeah, so it's great that, you know, the NDA got lifted. I think everybody so far is like just happy that, you know, I mean, it's like the talk of the town for like this whole week, and then even more once it's open to everybody on Friday. And as people are creating and building stuff, it's just going to be like the hot topic for, I think, months, because there's just so many people that will have the ability now to create their own and be able to share with, like, you know, the rest of the community. So yeah, props to you guys.
Do you guys think that when they drop the mobile version, will that be kind of like the gateway in for the masses, or maybe just like slowly getting the masses in because it's on a phone? Phones are a little bit more accessible for people. Not a lot of people like to be on desktop, and I know it's limited, but do you think that's kind of where we will get some good adoption in this? Because not a lot of people are going to want to sit at a computer for hours and create a world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do you guys think?
I it's tough to say because it really depends on, again, just the overall product, like how different it is. Because like the mobile version, I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the desktop version. Like it's just not possible. They got to take a lot of stuff out. But if you also just look at the current version of the mobile like Vault, like your phone heats up fast. So it's like, okay, how much further can they get from that? So I'm not personally, I'm not convinced that the mobile is going to bring in like masses or anything, but I do definitely think it's going to help with adoption. And maybe it's also just that tool that you can use where even if you are a builder and maybe you're on the go and you want to show somebody, you know, one of the worlds that you created, it might take some elements that you've put in the world out because you're on your phone, but maybe you're at the bus station or something like that. You want to show your friend, my bad. That's the video. Yeah, maybe you're at like the train station or on the subway or whatever, and you want to show your friend, then you can, you know, pull out the mobile phone and walk around the world or whatever. But if you're even able to do, I don't know. But I think it really just depends on what the overall product is like with the app.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me I'm not really on the computer a lot unless like, you know, we're doing a live stream or I'm prepping for something. So I think the mobile aspect would be really cool because I mean, I'm sure at least 97% of the people in the space, if not 100, have a mobile device. And it just kind of depends on their what do you call it? Their operating system. And because I've had games, you know, like beta testing games for other projects, and on this phone, on my Android phone, and it just gets really hot after a while. Then I have to do what Macaroni does. The trip, guys, is you put your phone in the freezer, 1 minute on one side.
No,
and
he's
then
not
after
joking.
the minute, you take it out and you put it in for another minute on the other side. So 2
Does
minutes.
he actually do that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That was
he
a
does.
simple.
Yeah. So shout out Macaroni for that that tip. But so I think once the mobile version of it is available, whether it's like maybe just not the full thing, but like a little portion of the VeVeVerse, that'll be really cool to just kind of create every once in a while you're free, like waiting at the doctor's office or whatever, you know, build something or go and check out someone's space. So I'm sure that'll be on their long list of things to work on in the future, but I'm definitely down for that because it'll just make it a little bit more easier, at least for myself.
So real quick, Josh, what are we building here? What are we looking at?
So these are 8 different designs I did for lights. So
These are lights.
Yeah, lights are going to be like one of the most important elements in your world. If you choose, let's say, like a darker skybox, the moment you import that skybox, your entire world's just going to get darker, right? So you got to make sure that, you know, collectibles are lit up and you're not walking around in dark hallways. But these are just 8 different designs that I built and time lapsed.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So put some
Here's
lighting.
someone's dog.
That's mine. I got puppies downstairs, and they're.
Freebie.
We got a baby. It's all good. So
All it
I'm
takes
sure you
is
heard our
someone to
baby.
walk by. I know.
I got another question here. It's from Anon. Are data stored on VeVe servers? I'm assuming that's yes.
Yeah, well, I would assume so. I don't know what the actual answer is there, but I would assume so.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and like because every time you log in and you go to one of your VeVeVerse spaces, it loads up depending on how fast your computer is. I literally, I'm not even gonna kid you. I went cheap on my first computer that I bought. So I mean, when I say cheap, it's probably maybe
Temu.
Temu, yeah. And it did its job because so I couldn't do it on my Mac, and I downloaded it on my laptop. I got only so far before it started crashing, so I bought my first desktop and I got pretty far, and then that started crashing. So on my second computer that I had custom built, I literally was like, you know what? Pull out all the stops. I want as much memory, upgrade the graphics to the max, and I've had zero like issues with the VeVeVerse then. But you know, there's if you guys want to just DM me in chat, if you guys want to DM me for my specs for my second computer. I'm building my third computer right now. I can give you specs on one of my builds that actually worked well in the VeVeVerse. You don't have to spend a ton of money at all. Like, you don't. I can send you specs for my computer that worked just fine before I went all crazy and just wanted to have the ultimate computer. I could probably be mining Bitcoin right now, but I'm not. It's strictly for the VeVeVerse. I literally built these two computers strictly for the VeVeVerse, and no regrets at all. Like, it totally worked out fine. I love them. I still have them, and they do exactly what they're supposed to do. And it's just the two. Is it 2 gigabytes, Josh? Is that what it is? Max?
Yeah, that's the. It's not the max. Like, you can build past it. It's just the moment you get past that mark,
bogging down.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, you can have the fastest computer in the world, but once you hit that 2 gigabyte mark, that's like what Josh is.
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah.
It's gonna
That's the
bog down
bottleneck right there. Is that 2 gig?
It really is, because like when I was streaming, I didn't fully know if it was the space or not, and then after I was done, I watched it back and I realized that the first space I was in, which was empty, there was no lag. Then I went into the space that had it's up to like multiple gigabytes. It's like way past double. It like my entire stream, not even just the application, like my entire stream lags. Like the entire performance, my face cam, everything just started like glitching.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because you're using that computer.
Because I'm using that computer, yeah. And then the moment I left that space and I finished the stream in actually this world that you guys see on screen now, it was completely fine. And I do have like up until recently like top of the line PC. So
yeah.
I
mean, you would need that to, dude, Josh, whatever it is you're creating, it's incredible. I love it. Look at that, man. I totally
they remind me of monoliths.
That is insane. I love it. But I mean, this is just, you know, a glimpse of the VeVeVerse. You know, everyone that's watching, you know, if you can dream it, you can build it. And that's what I love about it. And not only that, but I mean, all the collectibles that you see on the app on your phone, the moment you get into the VeVeVerse and you put your collectible in the VeVeVerse, I swear you're gonna just sit back and go, what the heck just happened?
That is literally the first thing I want to do. I was telling D, the first thing I want to do is like plop like the Enterprise or the Galactica, and I want to see what it really looks like in this environment, right? And then I want to blow it up and see what it looks like blown up in the environment, and then kind of, you know, what do they say? Mind your surroundings.
Dude, I'm excited to see what people start doing with that Battlestar ship, the Galactica ship, like inside, and the tunnels on the either side. Yeah, that's what you can do with that.
If you flip it up, it turns into a tower. If you really think about it, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like it's insane, because I literally started blowing up the Enterprise. I got into the bridge, right? And I was like, this looks nothing like what it looks like on the app, because on the app everything's almost transparent. You get to a point where you're looking through the collectible and you're looking right past it. Not in the VeVeVerse. You're looking right at the and what's crazy is with the bridge on the Enterprise, if you're looking, you can see where like the computers would be, where the stations would be.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Hey, NDA is lifted.
I'm trying to keep it simple here, man.
NDA is lifted. I can talk about it now, right?
But, yeah, no, of course.
I'm sure he's gonna DM me later, bro.
Of course,
he's gonna have another 2-hour conversation.
Yeah. So, with that said, so many collectibles that you see on the app, and you zoom in, zoom out, you go inside, and you blow them up. Where where there's transparency and you're looking right through the collectible, it's not. Like the Avengers Tower, once you guys get it, you look in, you're gonna be like, holy smokes, it is totally different. And everyone's gonna be like, you know what? Dang, Fro was right. This Avengers Tower is like the ish. Like you can build within it.
It took you 1 year to be right, man.
It took me 1 year, like, right? So, and then you can, of course, like fly through or go up through all the levels of the Avengers Towers to the top. And once you get to the top, man, it's gonna be like, that's all you need is the Avengers Tower. Like you can have each floor like a whole separate world, right? As you're going through the Avengers Tower, I figured it out. I was like, so with everything moving, you can actually have an elevator that takes you to the top floor, and you go through all these roads getting to the top floor of the Avengers Tower. And once people figure this out, man, it's like there's not too many of them floating out there.
You just told them. You just told them. So we're gonna see it now. Oh shucks.
Yeah, it helps with the build. Like you don't have to, go and spend a ton of time building if the structure's already there, like the dioramas, right? Like how you said, it's like almost like cheating. But I mean, I started building an escape room in one of the Avengers Tower, and I was like, so they start off here, they can't go past until they figure out, what it is we need to figure out. And I'm like, so they get to the second floor, third floor. By the time they reach the top, then they can, they end the game, right? And then when they get to the top, you come out and you see this view of whatever it is your space is, right? I mean, you can have a ton of people having fun, just killing time doing that. Like you said, once D goes to sleep, baby's asleep, like we all jump on and we just mess around. Sorry, D.
I'm going to go to sleep with him on the computer. I'm going to wake up and he's still on the computer.
Like we're all Josh would be there, like, hey, this way.
Yep.
Like, dude, it'd be so fun.
Get my caffeine ready. Guys, it's been an hour and 15. How are you guys doing on time?
I'm good.
All right, cool. I'm going to run through these questions. We got Notorious right here. Are you using the characters for scale?
Josh? Oh, I think Josh is muted.
You can read lips.
I do that way too often. In the time lapse there, it was just too fast. You didn't see it, but I was switching between my avatar, like walking down the hallways and stuff to get a sense of scale. But then they also have in, I think it's the architecture, no, simple shapes tab. They have an avatar that you can place. And that is like, it's just like the default size of the avatar is like just human size. So you can just place that down. And in the video where I was building all the different furniture, I don't know if you saw, but I would take the avatar and just move it from like the first bench I built to the second one and just like base the scale off that. So.
Okay.
Well, let's go. We got a
Can I
question
ask you a
from
question?
Acro. What took you the longest to assemble? What advice would you give to someone starting to build? What section should they start from?
Is that for me?
For any of you
both
guys,
of you.
whoever can answer that question. I wish I could.
It took the longest to assemble.
And this
Probably
goes to
say-
you, Fro, because you've been in there for a year. Don't think you're running away from this question.
The longest for me was the textures, but that's just because like there's not that many default textures to mess around with, and they've made it a little difficult to kind of match them as well. So that was probably the thing that took the longest. But in terms of advice, just like compartmentalizing everything, just break it down part by part. Because if you look at for example, if you go on a Pinterest to try and get inspiration, and you're looking at like a full decked out luxury living room, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get overwhelmed. But if you break it down part by part and you look at like the light on the wall and then like how the wall's designed and then how the stairs are designed and then just break it down part by part, then eventually you're going to build that environment. So it's going to feel overwhelming, whether you're experienced or not. Like you will run into that, like for sure. It's just a matter of breaking it down part by part and not not eating everything at once.
Okay,
Awesome.
here we go.
And what about
Go
you,
ahead.
Fro?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I totally agree. Like Josh, literally, like answered the question, to the fullest there. It's gonna seem overwhelming at first. So, like, what I did was I started off with the VeVeVerse Home, right? Because that comes automatic when you use the Home. I went inside. I started putting stuff on the walls, and then I started creating like lighting. Because with the lighting, you can have it going up, you can have it going down, directly at it. I mean, whatever you can imagine, you can do. We set its intensity, super bright, super dim. I mean, I would say, for me, I kind of messed around with that first. Just got into the VeVeVerse Home, the home space, and I just started messing around. Like I go up the stairs, go to the top balcony, look around, throw a few things here and there, and just test out what I'm capable of doing, or how much time it took me to build what I wanted, what I imagined in my head. And then from there, I was like, all right, that took X amount of time. So if I'm gonna build this grand image in my mind, it should take, maybe a day, a week, 2 weeks to build. So I would say start small. Just don't try to overwhelm yourself, because you might get frustrated and just, put the controls down, walk away for a while. Just take baby steps and try out some of the preloaded, I guess, shapes. And like what Josh did was he just stretched them out, customized them to the image he saw in his mind, and then added texture, and he just went from there. Like it's really not too hard if you break it down into small steps. And I wish they would do this. I wish you can create something, copy, paste, repeat, copy, paste, repeat. And that way you don't have to always keep creating the same thing repetitively over and over again.
So that was something that they had in the past, though? Was that a feature that they had and they took away, or is that a feature that we're just requesting and they don't have it yet in the VeVeVerse?
I've always had to build stuff from, like Josh said, were you able to copy and paste?
Well, he's only been in for like 3 or 4 weeks. You've been in for a whole year, right? So it's like, you've really been able to like go from 1.0 to what they're doing now versus Josh just got in now.
Well, what I can say is that their representative Jeff from Cavernous, like just the other day, talked about how that feature is being like worked on, like they're like writing the code out for it.
Oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
Cool. Easier.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, because I mean, if that comes to pass and we had that option and availability, like you would see, cities built overnight.
Yeah.
Can the pre-configured stuff be duplicated?
Yeah,
yeah.
So you could essentially build a city with whatever's pre-configured in there.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's not enough in the library to make that work. So like the only things that you would be like copying and pasting from the library is going to be like the furniture, which is going to be like cabinets and tables and stuff like that. But you don't have like a library of buildings yet. Hopefully one day. But the only building right now is just that one default home. So, but you can copy and paste that. Like I think Dan's home space had the 4, right?
Oh, I did. And I DM'd you a couple of photos where I did that, and I just wanted to see how many home spaces I could put out.
This was after the NDA, you guys, by the way.
I just wanted to see how many home spaces I could put in before it started to break and lag and then drop on me. So yeah, I did quite a few. After the NDA, I literally just DM'd those photos. Like what?
He DM'd my wife. He didn't DM me. He DM'd D.
An hour ago.
I know who the boss is,
Yo, that's cool.
Oh, can you show it to us? Can you show it to us?
Yeah,
while
let me do that.
these queuing up the picture, we have a third question from Anon right here. Third question: system requirements, PC and iOS, app or web based. What are the requirements?
It's not web based right now. It's when you install it, it's a you'll get a folder on your PC. You open that up, and it just installs it directly to your PC.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And this goes along with Notorious's question: is an Apple Mac Mini gonna be enough power, or is it time for another upgrade? Blender worked out okay for him.
Blender worked out okay, but how much did you have in the scene? That's the question.
Yeah.
So I can't speak about Apple products because I don't use any of them, so I don't know. That's a Fro. I don't know if you can answer that.
Well, I have the computer I use strictly for live streaming is my Mac, and I don't have it loaded on my Mac at all. Like I had it on my laptop, which was a PC, and I had my first build PC, my second build PC. So everything I've utilized with the VeVeVerse has been purely PC. I didn't even attempt to. I just didn't want it on my Mac. I don't know if that's even possible. Like, is it possible, Josh? Like I never even tried, to be honest.
I'm going to be able to answer these questions one day, guys. Give me 1 week.
I haven't either. I've just used the one, just like the desktop application. So
yeah, same.
All right. Well, we got this question right here from Richard. Are there spawn points teleport users to specific spots? If so, just one or more possible?
No.
Well, there you
No
go,
spawn
Richard.
points, no teleporting. What I will say, though, is that there were spawn points in the Cavernous free trial. So if they're not in the library at launch, that's VeVe's decision.
Okay. And then he follows up with this. Like Spatial, can you like to your other showrooms? I'm not sure what.
Or is that link?
Like Spatial, can you link to your other showrooms? There you go.
Fro.
Link to my other showrooms. I know, like I unfortunately at this point, you literally would have to leave that VeVeVerse home space and go back into your other. You just select which home space you'd want to go to. So
I'm assuming the linking thing is the same reason, like they just took away the add files option, because like if people take advantage of a feature like that, they can be linking to anything, and that could be detrimental for VeVe. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing anytime soon.
Yeah, good point, Josh. Good point. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but you make a good point.
I got the pictures. If I can share my screen.
Absolutely.
It's horrible.
Okay.
It's horrible. I don't know. I don't even
it.
know why I sent it to you. It's so bad.
So there's 3. So this is the first one.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Kryptoni, it's 30 people. 30 people in a space for the free version. Oh, that's cool.
Wow. What are we looking at here, bro? Looks like a city.
So that's my Neo Tokyo city. Like each one of those buildings represents a brand. So I have my Ultraman brand there. There's DC there. I got the Mighties down there with the Mighties truck. The DeLorean there, and I didn't do. I started building to the point where I remember when I said I wanted to see how many home spaces I could put up before it started crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
how much did you get on there before it crashed?
Oh man, what did I get to? Like,
look,
40?
There's that tower. There's his moon tower, everyone.
Yeah.
That tower.
We're not gonna forget that tower.
Man, I gotta say, the lighting in this world's really good, dude. Do you have fog toggled on? It's got like a mist or like a.
I did.
I
had
some kind of haze,
I had the mist. I had the haze. Like I literally was going. How far can I push this before it breaks? Like I was that guy. A lot of guys are just focusing on building kind of within a confined space, like one home. No, Fro did something stupid and went and tried to build a whole city. And
Mr. Real Estate Agent over here.
Right? And I just wanted to see how far I can push this thing into it. Like, just bog my computer down and broke. So I was really testing out the spaces. I put in as much as I could.
So how much
And
buildings is this in your world right now?
how much? I'm sorry.
How many buildings are we looking at right here?
I might be like at 30 on this one. Maybe,
Wow.
yeah, 30 plus ish. Because all that flooring, it sucks when you just, and when it crashes on you, you gotta wait for it to reload, and you got to go back in and move stuff around so that
that
it.
sucks.
Yeah, and this was done on my first computer where I was like, dude, what am I even doing?
Am I going to be hitting
And
my desk? Am I going to be like BE, or I'm going to start whacking my desk? Like, damn it!
I don't think so. You're a tech guy.
Oh,
Hamani,
yeah, so I will be hitting the desk then.
I think you would have all the speed in the world and you'd have all the specs. This is my graveyard.
This is cool.
I'm sorry it looks janky. I wanted to get better photos, but I couldn't upload them only because I'm on my Mac right now, and my PC's hooked up to my TV, and I had to use an actual TV because I wanted to see all the pixels and the details. And for some reason, I just could not get it up and running. I rushed home before I could jump on. I tried to fire it up, and for some reason, my internet on the Wi-Fi is messed up on that, so I couldn't get it to talk. And I wanted to show better photos, but these are photos that I've taken a long, long time ago. Just as a reminder of where I started from and what I was trying to build and add more stuff to it. I think I got the ectomobile, more zombies, because obviously it's a graveyard and there's zombies there, right? So that was something stupid. I think I literally was just messing around at that point because I ran out of ideas.
This is incredible, dude.
Yeah.
I love that. How it's like light on one side and then you got kind of like the dark, gloomy, where the light's not showing, and all those tombstones.
It's a portrait.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the skybox.
Yeah, that's the skybox.
awesome.
And that literally was, I added a ton more stuff. I don't remember what I added because I literally stopped building for a while because of work and life, and I just couldn't go in and finish and by that point I logged back in. I was like, what was I doing again? Because I had so many brain things going on, right? And
yeah.
I just
You gotta have like a punch list that you have to like go back to, right? That shows, okay, that's the last thing that I created. Since we're talking about building, we have Notorious asking a question: how much per hour to build, and what's the going rate, gentlemen? You guys working gems?
For us or for
no, for you guys, yeah.
For your services.
Per hour to build? What's the going rate? I'm assuming that's the question, Notorious, unless I'm phrasing this wrong.
In Omi or gems?
My answer to that, I don't give my prices up front like that. Let's sit down and have a conversation.
Shoot him a DM, Notorious.
Everything's negotiable. What about you, Fro?
What's your mint number on your electrodes? And that's where I'm.
He's a cheap date, Notorious. Let's go.
I'm following Josh's lead on that.
We got Johnny Poo here. Will there be a VeVe creator portal for creators?
I hope so. I hope so. Because a topic right now that I keep seeing being brought up, and there's a couple people asking this underneath Shawnee as well. Like how you get to worlds. Right now there isn't any list that pops up where you can like click on a world and go and visit. You have to be invited, and then once you're invited, the world will pop up on your dashboard. So that's the way how you get to worlds right now. But from my understanding, when they get to the stage where they introduce servers, then that's where that stuff will start to come into play, because you should see like a list of servers, and you can click on which one you want to go to and that type of thing. And then that'll be a game changer for a platform like this. But right now it's just invite only, and then you can go to whatever you have access to. So,
yeah. Well, 1.0, as they said, right?
Yeah.
Right here, we got Notorious scaling. How do you build to scale with your avatar? How do you build to scale for your avatar?
I was just going back between the fly mode and the avatar mode.
Mhm.
So I was just walking around the scene I built, and then I'll just like make adjustments. Like sometimes I'll build something in fly mode, and then I'll drop down with my avatar, and it's way smaller than I thought it was. So I'll have to scale it up to the size of my avatar. But I just hop between the two.
Nice. And
Yeah,
also,
good to know.
whiskey is on Anon, everyone. Let's go.
And there was a question from Delco too earlier.
Oh, I
don't
missed
know
you,
if that
Delco. So
got,
sorry.
It's
Let me
okay.
get
I'll
back
show
up
it
there.
right here.
Okay, there you go.
Right
Perfect.
here. So I don't think we touched this. So the size thing will definitely be an issue, but sure, it will be addressed or one of those pay options later on. Question for Josh. Do you know if you can play music of your own in the space?
That's a great question.
That is a really good question, actually. I don't have an answer for that. I know that there's audio. Like if you put a video on your stream board, like the stream
Mhm.
board will play audio. The audio's been quite buggy, but I did have the idea because I did see the option. Hanano actually, I had Suno open on one of my other screens while I was in the VeVeVerse, and when I clicked on the stream board, it actually had the option to project Suno to
No
the
way.
to the stream board.
Whoa.
Oh man.
That
Mm.
okay. I have an entire file just dedicated to scores. It's a big dream of mine to just walk out of the door one day and hear "It's a Beautiful Morning." Like, wouldn't you love life if you had a score? Like, like yes, I kicked ass today, and all of a sudden you hear the Rockies theme or something. So that's what I want in my verse. When you get in there, I want you guys to hear a score. I made operatic music. I've made rock music. I've made like low tone, very seminal music.
Yeah.
Mainly for this, you know what I mean? To come into my world.
Even past that, all the little like when you go into VR chat, let's say the world's set at night, you got like crickets, right?
Oh, that's so cool.
And like you have like all the little audio cues that make the atmosphere like
rain
come
sound
alive and everything, right?
Ooh,
yeah, exactly. Rain sound. That is very, very much needed. So I haven't messed around with the audio enough to know if you can really do that stuff. But I know that with the stream board, you can put in like a URL or you can have like a video actually attached to the stream board. So maybe if you like record the AI music and then create like a little video that loops or something like that, then you can put that AI music video onto the stream board that way. I'm sure there's probably like a workaround, but hopefully that answers enough of your question. I can't answer the full thing.
That's a great question, Delco, because that was something that was on my mind as well. Guys, we also have Ben Rose in the chat. He says, thanks, D and Hinano, for celebrating the builders. Amazing to see what the beta testers have created. Looking forward to unleashing the power of the community in just a few days. It's my understanding, less than 48 hours, we're going to be able to get in there, guys. And I'm looking at a few more questions here, but I think we're getting close to the tail end of the live stream. I really appreciate having you guys on to come and hang out. But before we even go, guys, we are running a giveaway right now. And shout out to Notorious Moonboy as well as The Biggest Bro. They have donated something in the chats, and we will run the giveaway tool as soon as the stream is done. D, is there any questions that I missed? Let's see here.
Let's see. So just curious, because you also you mentioned this earlier, Josh. But I just wanted to ask, like, what is something you're looking forward to, like, sharing with everybody, whether it be like something new, like whether it be like live streaming, something specific, or setting up for others to come and enjoy, or like a service that you want to provide for people in your space? Like, do you have any ideas or like a little sneak peek of what you might be thinking for your space?
Yeah, the building services are going to be a big one for me because I come from gaming. There was an opportunity back when I was involved in like the Halo Reach community where I probably could have started making content and done something with it. I was just like, I don't know, young, didn't have that mindset at the time. So I see the VeVeVerse as like a full circle opportunity where I can now incorporate more of like, gaming content with my actual channel, which is awesome. And hopefully make a little bit of money doing it. But then from a content standpoint, one thing I'm really looking forward to is building competitions, which I want to hopefully do one next week. But
Nice.
yeah, just getting like, 4 builders into a space. You got like your own little grid, and all right, first one to build, or not first one, but like, the builder to build the best display for the Superman collectible, right? Most votes gets this. And then you create like a little show out of it. And then, you fly around in the camera mode while you see all the 4 builders kind of just doing their thing on their own plot of land or whatever, right? So
Cool.
I think those are going to be lots of fun.
And I think like to touch on that too, it would be really cool if the community could like give you the ideas on what you guys as creators compete to do, and just have that one like like put out a poll or something, however you want to do it, and have the community choose the specific thing, and then you guys will create and then vote on it after. I think that would be really cool. Yeah.
Be loads of fun.
And what about you, Fro bro?
I'm sorry, what was the question again, D?
That's okay. Yeah, so what is like something that either like a service or like any future plans, or something specific that you want to create for the community to come and check out, or any services that you may want to have people come to you for specifically, like anything in the works that you can give a sneak peek on, or just keep building?
Yeah, when I first started this, VeVeVerse journey, I totally wanted to help people create, build, and give everyone pointers, and maybe even do commissioned work where like I'd go in and you tell me what you want and I'll build it for you. But that it kind of changed. Like my work schedule really sucks right now. Like I was sick for almost a month, and I literally had to hire an assistant to help me out. And time is very valuable to me, so I won't be able to help people like I wanted to. And with my my brother Nan, Nan's got these crazy ideas where he wants me to do crazy videos. People like, you guys don't understand the stuff that he's making me do. And Fro, do it again. I don't like it. No, Fro, you didn't smile on that one. Do it again. Bro, you didn't look hurt enough. Like, hurt enough, dude. I fell out of a tree, bro. Like, that was real. Those are real reactions. So,
you need to do it again.
Do it again, dude. You sound just like a mom right now. So, with him having all these great ideas of wanting to do more videos, so that's going to hinder what I wanted to do in the VeVeVerse. But I'll do my best to help everyone out if they reach out to me. I can like give them pointers. Like I really wanted, when the VeVeVerse started, I really wanted to create spaces where people come and hang out and chill and just look at certain collectibles. And I wanted to put there's a certain mint that I go after, and I want to put all those mints up in showcase form. And I wanted to put placards in front of them to show the mint number. And you can find out what mint number I, have after you come to the showroom in the VeVeVerse home. But I mean, that was my main goal. It just kind of, things change, plans shift, and now I think I won't have the time because just work and real life stuff happens. But I'm always there. If you reach out to me via DM, I'll definitely answer it. I'll do my best to. I wasn't on social media for at least 2-3 weeks because, I told you guys I had vertigo. I couldn't look down at the screen for more than 2-3 minutes without getting lightheaded or dizzy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had to put the phone down and just, text aside. And that's the whole point why I really broke down and had to hire an assistant to help me out. And she's like the world right now. She's doing everything for me. We're going to keep her on board for as long as for the foreseeable future, because she's been doing everything I needed. I wish I had in the system before. I probably wouldn't have got sick if I did.
But
You know, 'cause-
I'm going to add this: since you have an assistant, that means you have more time to be in the
Yeah.
VeVeVerse. You literally just showed us your hand right here. You said you have an assistant.
I do. I do. In real life, yeah, like for real life work, I have an assistant. However, mom's got these crazy ideas, Hanano, like you wouldn't believe.
Well, he has a
So-
question here. He says, "Is there atmosphere in the VeVeVerse? Wind, rain, snow?" I think we kind of covered this earlier, but is there anything pre-configured with weather in there?
Not really.
You got to make your own
No.
rain. You got to make it rain yourself.
The closest thing to weather is going to be probably the fog, but
Yeah.
I mean, I know Falcon used the particle effect to try and make it look like rain, like he stretched them out and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
you can do stuff like that, but nothing pre-configured. No.
Yeah, and you know, certain collectibles like the Peely Fantasy characters where, like, you know, things swirl around them, and that if you can use that, you'll have probably could get the weather effect that you want and change the colors on them to get that color pattern that you want. So there's certain collectibles in the app that, you know, that are animated in such a way where you can actually use them to give you that effect that you want. So it's very limited, like Josh had mentioned, but if your imagination stretches out real far, you can probably make it work. So yeah, it's very limited. Hopefully in the future we can get a lot more. Like we'll have access to snow, rain. I mean, that would be amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be two types of people. There's going to be people who think inside the box, and then people who think outside. And I think the VeVeVerse is going to make these, like, it's gonna separate people. Like, it's going to make it very obvious. The
Yeah, I
separation.
mean, look at that! Holy smokes, that's insane! Like that's incredible.
It's like 3 or 4 weeks. That's all he's been in there, man. Just 3
Yeah.
or 4 weeks. That's it.
That's incredible. But you know,
Yeah.
Josh is 2 steps ahead.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
is.
I
agree.
want to say even some of the beta testers are playing checkers, right? You got Josh here playing chess, bro. Like that's next
I think he's
level
invented the
stuff.
game, in my opinion. I'm being very fat-headed, but like I've hung out with this guy. We've had like long conversations, and so you can kind of tell people's creativity depending on how, you know, you ask a certain question to them and they respond. And this guy is a very creative mind right here. I mean, we're seeing it right in front of us. I mean, look at this bench right here. It's like the most beautiful bench. I remember, I think he was talking with Emoji about this bench in Omili Space prior.
Mhm.
But and this is not to throw shade. All these builders are great. Like Tails, I was watching Tails. He had like different channels. Like he's going like the movie route, and it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Captain Aura with his Ghostbusters, and then you got Mr. Falcon. I just saw the Psycho
Yeah.
house, and that was crazy, right? And I think Notorious had the same question, but how did he build the mountains and stuff like that? Like I'm assuming there's not a pre-configured mountain. He had to like really create that, right?
I think he might have taken the rocks. He might have stretched the
Mhm.
rocks out and then hid the rocks with trees.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That would
Very
be my
cool.
guess. But you could probably do it like a bunch of different ways too.
You
Yeah, and
know,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like you know what, Josh? I'm playing checkers too, dude. Like you're playing chess, bro. Like literally. Like what is this? All right, that's it. I'm in the checkers group. I'm playing checkers. Josh is playing chess over
Dude,
here.
I gotta say, it feels so good though to all those people who are saying that like my Blender videos had nothing to do with the VeVeVerse, because it's like identical.
Dude, I seen some of those comments, and I was like, you guys realize he's in Cavernous, right? Like he's
Yeah.
figured it out. We just haven't told him he's figured it out just yet. You know, like he's 2 steps ahead.
I think they were afraid to let him in because they were afraid he was going to break it on day one. That's what I'm thinking. The Matrix would have crashed. By the way, guys, we have a question from Mark D. It says right here, hi guys, thanks for the show. How many giant-sized comics can you realistically put in a space, along with the lights on each? I assume is needed.
I can't give you a specific number, but what I will say is that those are a lot less intensive than the collectibles, because it's just
Okay.
like an image, right? So you're not opening up the comic, so it doesn't need to like render the full book. So you can get away with way more comics in a space than you can collectibles. And then even when you scale the images up, they don't get like blurry or anything like that.
Right.
When you get to a certain size, they do. But I mean, you can get them pretty big before that starts happening. But in terms of a number, I don't know. Fro, I don't know if you can.
I got to probably like 6 or 7, like on the walls, because I stretch them out to the whole wall to cover the whole wall. So like I'm in a room with just walls that are actually comic books. So maybe 6 or 7 for me. But I mean, realistically, you probably go 50, maybe 100, maybe even more. Just like Josh had mentioned, they
It also. Go ahead.
I'm
Sorry. I was just going to say it also depends on how close you have them all. Like if they're more spread out, that's going to help. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to the tail end of the questions here, guys. We got Mark D saying, can you flip comic pages inside, or can you load individual pages one at a time?
You can't flip them.
No.
And again, like to the team, if they're watching this, that's the downside of the file button getting taken away, because in the VeVe Vault Master space, when they showed the comics, or like the inside of the comics, that wasn't the asset itself. That was an image of a screenshot that he took from inside the book that he uploaded. So now you can't really do that. So yeah, the only thing you're going to see for the comics inside the VeVeVerse is just going to be like the cover artwork.
Cool.
Okay, and then there was another question too. I mean, you guys kind of touched on it too, from Robin Luber.
Why not, Robin?
Can you add a collectible to multiple showrooms even if you have only one, or do you need to own the number you want to display across all your showrooms? Great discussion, learning lots.
No, you can open 3 different worlds and have the same collectible in all 3. You just can't place the same collectible twice in the same world.
Correct.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh man, that means I gotta go buy more stuff.
Yeah, like unless you had like 50 Electras, and you'd be fine. Like I'm cool with
No,
this.
I know you do. You took all the Electras.
Well, right here it says Kryptoni, I got Electro Mint 616 on drop, but he sold it. So there you go.
Oh, did Fro
Smart
pick
man,
that up?
smart man.
We got a nod here. Are there actual units being used for scale, like feet, inches, meters, etc., to have things built to scale and be more realistic?
They do have a measurement tool. So when you're moving an object, rotating it, scaling it, what you can do is when you click on the arrow or the button to do whatever you're trying to do, click shift at the same time, and then it'll open up like increments that you can like move it on a grid. The only downside to that tool right now is that you can't adjust the increments. So I don't really use it too much right now, just because it's like the measurements are a little too big. But if you can scale it down and then use like smaller increments, I would use it a lot more. But they do have the tool. It's just it's limited right now, limiting.
All right. I think we've gone through all the questions, unless I missed anything, D. I think we're good.
I think we're good. I was just kind of going through there's one from Kryptoni, but I think that's for the future. And Frober might get into it. Will there ever be land sales? And will this ultimately end up being a full metaverse with free roam?
So what's your going rate for real estate in the VeVeVerse, Fro?
I don't know. I don't know. I literally, I never thought about it.
You see, the Josh answer is everything negotiable, and let's discuss in the DMs.
Yeah.
Land, I think he means like, because they talked about land sales with golden tickets way back when. Yeah. I would not expect that to be on the roadmap at all anymore, especially with Ben coming in now. But your point about whether this is going to turn into like a free roam metaverse, whether the team is thinking that way or not right now, that's eventually what this should turn into. Because like, I don't think that they should get to a point where they're going to stop developing the VeVeVerse. Like, they got to keep updating, keep adding stuff all the time in order for people to stick around. And I mean, you extrapolate that across 10 years, we're eventually going to get to a point where, yeah, worlds are linking and it's more of like a metaverse type environment. But we're only in stage 1 right now. So that would be my guess, though.
Go ahead.
Like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Fro. You have something to say?
nah, not really. I probably shouldn't say it.
Say it. You know you want to. No NDAs.
Don't worry, we'll
okay,
block
no
the
worries.
camera. They won't see you.
I was trying to drop hints, right, through a lot of my, ex posts, or back then it was Twitter before, Elon purchased. I kept saying, we are so early. We are so early. And I was leaving breadcrumbs. I was literally leaving breadcrumbs for everyone. And a few picked up on it and a few didn't. 90% probably didn't, because they're like, what's this dude even talking about? Is he drunk? Is he high? What is he? I'm like, you guys, like, this is what we're holding back. And like, I wanted to tell everybody, but I couldn't, the NDA, right? And so I'm like, you guys have no idea, like the things that the verses, the home spaces that all these other beta testers are creating, that I was privileged to see and go into their home spaces and walk around and look. I was like, gosh, man, only if I could share this knowledge with the rest of the VeVe fam, because we went through a lot of dark times where, morale was at a super low point and people were turning on each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, and I wanted to say it so bad, like, only if you guys knew, like, what I knew, like what the future holds, right? So I just kept my mouth shut, and I had no choice.
But you had no choice.
I had no choice. Like, I couldn't even express my thoughts and opinions with other, beta testers, because I didn't want to overstep, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, God, we're so early, you guys. Like, you guys watching, we're so early. Like,
well, technically, we're under 48 hours, so we're getting close to the wire. Think about it, right?
Getting close to the wire, yes. And
go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to say, that it's so much more. It's so much more. Once everyone once the other heavy hitters come out with what they've been working on for the last 6, 8, 9, months to a year, you guys will see what I've seen, and that's why I've always stayed positive. Only because of that reason is I've seen behind the velvet curtain. So, and I had no choice but NDA. I just stayed positive and wanted to reassure everyone it's coming. It is coming, and we're getting there Friday. So I wish everyone, well wishes when you get in, and thank all the beta testers. Those guys did a phenomenal job, each and every one of them. So, yeah, and this is experience that we all wanted the VeVe fam to, first walk into. Not what we walked into, but where we're at now is what we want everyone to experience when they first get in. So, yeah, I mean, Josh, I wish you had access earlier. I so wish. I was rooting for you. I reached out to so many people, man, to get you in, but like, the powers that be, like, I don't know how they select who gets in and who doesn't. So,
well, hey man, I appreciate all the effort to try and get me in too, because I know you asked more than once too. So
I did.
Yeah.
Because I could just tell all the stuff you're putting out, all your videos you're putting out, your speculation videos. I'm like, this dude's already figured it out. He's put the Rubik's Cube together time and time again. Let him in. So I'm so happy you have you got access into the beta testing, because look at this, you're literally just 2 steps ahead of a lot of beta testers.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's incredible, man. It would have took me months to get to where you're at on this point. Months. Like, when I first started, I just didn't have the time because of real life work and whatnot. But I mean, look at you. Like, it's incredible, man. Like, these tutorials will help out the VeVe fans so much.
I appreciate that, man.
No,
It's-
that's honest to God truth, man. Look at this. Like you can watch what we did and just replicate it. And
Well,
it will help out.
it's this type of stuff in the video right here where it's like they need that copy and paste feature badly.
Yes.
Because I see like
It's a picket fence, right?
I agree. Like all that time, and you got that right.
Yeah.
But you had the time and patience to create that and the know-how. So I mean, dude, that's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, copy and paste. Hopefully soon. soon.
Yeah.
2 more questions, guys, and I think we're going to get out of here. We're at the 2-hour mark. It has been a really great conversation, very organic about the VeVeVerse. I really want to appreciate our guests for coming on our very first episode of Enter the Verse, where we get to talk all things VeVeVerse. I'm going to be in here shortly trying to do my own works as well. But I really appreciate you guys coming on. We have 2 more questions, or maybe not necessarily a question here, but Notorious is asking maybe for our opinion on this. What about advertising? Very busy rooms could fetch a premium. I completely agree with this in terms of like the products, the digital collectibles, maybe your own stuff that you can even advertise in there. I remember you telling me, Josh, you had your own things as well. What's your thoughts on this?
There's so many avenues here. Like Fortnite, you can build a map and then you get paid out based off how many active users are in the map per month. So something like that could happen with VeVe, where if you have a world, like what's going to happen with the VeVeVerse is you're going to have builders make names for themselves, and then they're going to drop maps, and people in the community go, oh, so-and-so dropped a map, right? And then they go and visit that map. And then, 3 of 30 worlds that they release is going to retain some people, right? You might have like 30 users in there every single month or whatever. You can pay them out that way, but then also the creator, provided we have the flexibility to do this in the future, I can put up a billboard that promotes a company that's paid me to put that there because I have active users in the space, right? So now your world becomes a marketing tool for other companies, right? Or licensors that are on VeVe. Like that's just a couple examples.
There you go. And he has a follow-up question here for you, Josh. Josh, how hard is it to have gravity? That's a must, in my opinion.
It's a full mechanic, dude. I mean, my guess is that's the reason we don't have water in the VeVeVerse, is because of the whole gravity component. But yeah, to be honest, I've never been on the whole side of like coding out features, so I don't really know that. But based off what Jeff said about the feature just to copy and paste, it sounded like that feature was just complicated in and of itself. I mean, I can't even imagine what physics for the entire platform would be. Like your character fall in, you play, or like, yeah. But physics is so important because, like,
yeah,
you can create platforming games, right, where you jump from one spot to the other and you got stuff swinging.
Yeah.
Like Super Mario, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't fully know.
2.0, maybe 5.0, maybe we'll temper expectations.
Give him some time,
guys. This has been awesome, guys. We're going to run a giveaway right now for you folks in the chats. Once again, we are running a community-sponsored giveaway. If you guys want to win a Fishes code, type in hashtag Enter the Verse in the chats down below. I'll give you guys 1 minute to do that while I get the giveaway tool already. And guys, I kind of want your final thoughts on this. And I kind of want to phrase the question like this. The future of VeVe. It may not change overnight on Friday, but do you see the VeVeVerse being a pivotal shift for the company, the project, to kind of like perpetuate digital collecting in the future, pushing this forward? Do you think fandoms will come because of this? What's your guys' thoughts?
Fro?
I think so. Like, I mean, this was the best kept secret for a long time. Like, what, year and a half? I mean, this is, the thing that was supposed to, literally just break open the doors. So I think the VeVeVerse will, like, once people see their collectibles in the VeVeVerse, it literally just changes how you look at the collectible on the app. Because I literally went out and bought more of certain collectibles just because of how they look in the VeVeVerse. And for people that are building in the VeVeVerse, and want to showcase those collectibles, yes, it will probably change for the better how people collect. I absolutely think so. Like it's gonna be one of those milestones for VeVe. You know, the launch of the VeVeVerse, definitely a milestone. And I hope everyone enjoys their time in the VeVeVerse, building and creating. I did it for a year, and it sucked because it's like you know the answer to the test, but you can't tell anyone, right? You just kind of like,
Hey, I'm going to tell them this. In Vegas, we had a few drinks. I tried my best. This guy's built like Fort Knox. He would not give me the secrets, VeVe. I tried. That NDA, he threw it in my face and said, read the fine print. So shout out to you, Fro, right there. Josh, final thoughts on what I just said.
Like just final thoughts on the verse, yeah?
Or final thoughts basically on the future of VeVe because of the verse. Do you think this is a pivotal moment for VeVe because of the verse? And how do you see the impact of the verse for digital collecting and perpetuating this space forward?
I think it's a pivotal moment for collecting because there are other platforms that offer similar stuff just without the collecting component and the IP component too, like VR chat. They don't have any brands like Disney or stuff like that. So I think it's innovative in that sense, which is good to see. I don't think we're going to see like a large influx of users because of it right now. I think there's other factors involved there, but yeah, I think for the most part, it's a great foundation to start with, but they just gotta address some of these bugs and they got to do it quickly. And I think that's going to help a lot. So, but also if the team's watching this, I know when they did the original unveiling, we had Fish in that demo, and I could have sworn they said something about them being the Fish from OpenSea because I know Brock had started over there.
Yeah.
I would love to see the ability to, or I would love to have the ability to import El Monix collectibles, brands like that who are on OpenSea, but have a brands tab on VeVe. And I think that's like kind of like that first initial step before they offer full-blown features like being able to import like PNGs and stuff. But yeah, I'd love to see some partnerships like that too. I know that's like a little bit of a side point, but just in case they're watching. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Loads of fun.
Let's go, guys. Thank you so much. Like I also promised one thing. We have a new show that we're announcing as well tonight, guys. And I'm going to do it right now. I'm just going to peel the Band-Aid off.
Let's go.
So we got together with a few of our community members. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of the TV show Severance, but we are going to be doing a live stream about it. And the show's called The Severed Floor. It's going to be premiering this Monday. It's going to have myself, Video Shane, who is a big TV and movie buff, as well as the biggest bro. And we're also inviting the community. If you guys want to come up and have the conversation, if you guys ever watch Severance, we're on season 2. You guys already know the show is phenomenal. It's crazy. So we're going to discuss this. It's going to be spoiler alert, by the way, guys. But The Severed Floor, and this is going to be a limited series. It's not going to be, because obviously I think we have like 2 episodes left, and then it's the season finale. But yeah, we're going to be doing The Severed Floor on Monday. And I also want to give a shout out to a Twitter space, because I know they do a Twitter space of something similar where they review the TV show as well. So big shout out to EB Smooth, RX8, Propagandist, Swampy, Kermich, Mahalo Joe, Nas Clint. I believe the Omi homies were there, as well as I think Omili was there too. But I know they do this space. I'm not sure what days they do it, but I want to give a shout out to them as well, because they do something similar. And we're going to be doing the same thing on YouTube right here with our community and our friends. And we want to invite you guys to come along. We will do the advertisements for these a little bit later during the weekend. And that's the show, guys. I appreciate everyone for coming on. I'm going to run the giveaway tool picker right here. We have 2 Fishes codes we're going to be giving away to 2 lucky individuals. Big shout out to The Biggest Bro and Notorious Moonboy for donating the giveaways for the stream tonight. D, close out the show, please.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you once again, Biggs Bro and Notorious, for your donations for the giveaways tonight. Appreciate you, Josh and Fro Bro, for coming on and sharing your experience and journey from the VeVeVerse, however long you were in there. And yeah, just thank you for answering all the questions that the chats had. Very informative. If you guys need more info, chats, go follow Josh and check out his tutorial videos and his he has really good information there. As well as if you have any questions, I'm sure they're open. I mean, I'm speaking for you guys. They're they'll take
Right.
they'll put you in the right direction, or help you out when they have some time. And yeah, just thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. We'll have more of these live streams in the future to talk more about VeVeVerse and verses to come. And yeah, it's been really cool and really fun. And thank you guys for being here with us. Can't wait to put my my creative mind, whatever it is, to good use and yeah, build something. So I'll probably share like a screenshot of like, hey, look, I made a square. Yay. But yeah, baby steps first, right? So
she's probably gonna make me start it first, guys, and you know what I mean?
I'm gonna have I'll try my first one by myself. And I'll probably look at I'm like, ooh, can you do that for me now? Yeah. Well, we'll see. But yeah, this has been really fun. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
All right, let's
Thanks
go.
for having us as well.
Absolutely,
yeah,
you
thank
guys. Absolutely. And I want to really put this out here. Like, this is literally going to be the show where we're going to be showcasing our VeVeVerse journey. Yeah, before we run the giveaway, there's a couple things. We are going to want to do live streams where we try to like either show you what we're building, or we'll do like, screen recordings or time lapse, and you'll see what I built. And then we're also wanting to invite other communities to help build with us. So D and I, besides VeVe, we network with people in Decentraland, in Spatial. So we know a bunch of people that are actually in that space. In fact, I actually ran a Twitter space to where I was trying to stream in Decentraland. It didn't really work out with my server, but it's going to be fun to try to bring those people in here. And so D and I, that's part of our goal, because I'm not sure if a lot of content creators network outside of VeVe, but that's something that D and I do a lot of. And so our big goal here is to try to bring people into our space from other communities, from A Kid Called Beast, from Broadsiders. That is our goal with this show. Hopefully we can try to do that. We're also going to try to bring in some of our friends, because we have friends that like to game and build. And so there are going to be other individuals that we're going to try to bring in here that are not in our space. So hopefully we can accomplish that on that show. This is what the show is going to be about. I haven't really hammered down a time yet of the show, but I will. And it'll be a weekly occurrence. And this may replace the Tuesday show, guys. I know some of you guys love the Tuesday show, but I need to clone myself. So that's it right there, guys. Let's get to the giveaway right here. And good luck for the first features code. Let's see who's going to be the winner. Who's going to have the juju tonight? And good luck, guys. Let's see who's the first winner. Delco Dude.
Oh.
Congratulations, brother. These hands are for you. Let's go. D will message you the code as soon as the live stream is over. And then for the final code, you guys, for the last Fishes collectible of the night, good luck.
Good luck. Let's see.
FM, congratulations. I'm not sure if you have DM'd us before, if you've DM'd my wife, but DM the podcast account or leave a comment in the video down below, and we can try to coordinate with you to get you your code. And thank you so much to The Biggest Bro as well as Notorious Moonboy for donating tonight's giveaways. Guys, that is the stream tonight. We really appreciate you guys coming for our very first episode of Enter the Verse, and we had a really good time. It was good to see you, Fro Bro. It's good to see you back in action. And Josh, you already know, man, we've hung out enough. We're going to be hanging out again in Vegas. I can't wait. And guys, we've got stuff cooking in the background, and we're not going to say nothing until later. So that's been the stream, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Actually, we'll catch you guys on Friday. D, any sneak peeks on Friday?
I already gave my sneak peek.
I'm trying.
Let's
guys.
just say
I'm trying.
I'm going to repeat what I said. He's across the pond. He has his own show with his team on an X space. And
boy, that sounds a lot like Alex.
And he actually had a space today. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Alex, tune in for VeVe Wednesdays as well in 45 minutes, right? 876? Yeah, 45
That's
minutes.
correct. Yep. Tune in to VeVe Wednesdays tonight with Osmond Collect 63 as well as Doctor Strange. They always have an awesome episode every Wednesday, as well as Josh and Osmond on Sundays, guys. Thank you so much. This has been the live stream. I appreciate everyone for tuning in every single time. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care and aloha.
Bye.
Later, guys.